final, of course, in third division. Dan.
Yeah, just to recap, in Deakin Uni Eastern Region Division 2 Women's Grand Final, it was Donvar by 4 points over Blackburn, and then in the Division 1 game, it was Vermont 8 points over Mount Evelyn.
Thanks very much. Yeah, the women's grand finals, of course, as you say. So the second half gets underway. A 6-point lead to Blackburn. Blackburn 5-6 to Doncaster 4-6. Should be a great second half. Strong tackle there by Alessi. Dunn there puts his body over the ball. Ball on the deck. And it's the umpire just lets him play for quite a while. And then finally it does come out of the scrimmage. And it came out there to Finnan, who was taken to ground. Jack Martin, in fact, it was. And it'll be a ball up. So a 6-point lead to Blackburn still. No score in this third quarter. Mackenzie Dorian there, well tackled by Whelan. It's across to Ray Baird on the boundary.
Bushes. No, they're just swapping over right now. Someone else is going to win.
Mackenzie wins the tap down. Anarchis was well tackled there by Gray. And light rain falling. The conditions have worsened. It's definitely a bit colder than it was earlier. And it might be a little bit slippery to start this third quarter with that sprinkle of rain that we had during half time. As Mackenzie's well tackled there by Gray. And he was going absolutely nowhere then. Big Ewan Frankie Mackenzie. So the umpire tosses it up. Mackenzie wins this one decisively. Strong tackle on Whelan. And good gang tackling there by the Burners. They all got around Whelan then, and he had no chance of breaking that tackle. Dove wins the tap. Mackenzie spins, well, not out of the tackle. He couldn't quite break the tackle. He's probably lucky not to be paid holding the ball. Dorian now boots the ball forward. Great mark by Lawler. Showed good courage. Goes short, looking for Conker. The kick set him a hard task. Nice bump there by Hartwig. Vasari runs onto the ball, and he's kicked a great goal there for Blackburn. And that's the best possible start to the second half for the Burners, as Dylan Vasari gets the goal.
Another quality Blackburn youngster that's played at a higher level. Come back to Blackburn this year. A very clever forward, an opportunist, and he's also can do some damage along with Sam Hudson.
I'm pretty lucky to actually be able to get away with the goal there, because Conker had a lot of space inside forward 50. The kick didn't hit the target, but great roving there by Vasari to put the ball through the middle of the stick. So a handy lead now, 12 points to Blackburn. Ball back in the middle. Over the top there was Dove. Knocked it to ground level. Anderson. Hand the ball back into Mackenzie, I should say. I don't know where my confusion came from that one. As the kick goes up towards the half forward line, here's Hammond, who's out in the front spot there. Ball hits the deck, and we will have a ball up centre half forward. High throws it up now, quickly inside forward 50 by Murphy. Bouncing football, Conker was there. Schimmelbusch in the front spot, got it out. That was okay. Here's Wheeler now. Got it back to Schimmelbusch on the left boot, up towards the wing position. Getting a handle on it there was Faulkner. He did well. Anarchis at the fall of the ball for Donny. Got it back to Schimmelbusch, whose kick was smothered over the boundary line, out of bounds. Right in front of the Blackburn dugout. They really enjoyed that one. Over she goes for a boundary throw in. Dan Sensick around the grounds on the score centre.
Yeah, Barona just streaming away now. 7-7-49 the Hawks early in the third term. Scoresby still haven't kicked a goal, 3 behind.
Well, I learnt not to go the early crow on anything after the Bayswater Lilydale game. So the kick goes up towards Hammond. Well done, McGarner's got the handball on. Here's Hammond now on the left boot, kicks it, pops it up in towards the Conker direction. Umpire said didn't go far enough. Here's Hammond now. His kick went straight off the side of the boot. It's still going to be in play and out in front. He's Ryan Bathy, who's kicked 2 goals already this afternoon, takes it, and he'll kick from the paint to 50s on the far side of Waverley Toyota Oval, looking to put through his third for the day.
Blackburn have really come out and trying to seize the initiative early in this third quarter and put Doncaster right under the pump.
Well, they're going to make it really hard for Doncaster if Ryan Bathy can put this one through. On the right boot, spears towards the goals, and it always started left, and that's where it stayed. And through for a minor score. 4.5 minutes tick over in the third term of the Division 1 first semi-final. Is Blackburn leading 6-7-43 to 4-6-30. see Cavallis to bring it back in, Bradley.
He does so indeed and goes pretty well straight down the middle of Central Reserve. Big punch there by Parker. And Arcus swoops on the ball. Got it out to Mahn. Little quick kick there by Schimmelbusch was a good one. And Vanderhaar takes the mark.
Been relatively quiet, Vanderhaar.
Yep, he has.
Drives it forward now. Monks in the box seat. Couldn't take the mark. Hood works his way back, but he's under pressure. Comer did really well.
He threw
Great
that.
tackle, and he did throw the ball out and
been
must be
paid.
rewarded. And he is, so holding the ball paid there. Hood was just, he was fumbly, wasn't he? And he panicked a bit. And then Coman, perfect tackle. And he slung Hood to the ground and got rewarded then. So Nick Coman
needs to kick this goal, I think.
Well, it's a tough kick though, Crash.
I know it's a tough kick.
Not an easy position right on the boundary here. Coman runs around and it's a good effort. Gee, summed that up well then, Nick Coman. He's kicked his second and Doncaster get their first goal of the second half.
Yeah, there was a very, very handy goal there by Nick Coman. Blackburn really come out in the first 4 or 5 minutes and wanting to make a statement, but Doncaster, like the good side they are, they just took advantage of a little mistake that Blackburn made, and they made them pay for it.
So we're back to a 7-point ball game here. Blackburn have the lead, 43-36. Umpire Damien Sully in the middle of the ground. Throws the ball aloft. Mackenzie goes up against Dub. Mackenzie got the knockdown that time. Favourable for his side, but the quick kick by Blackburn up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing football. Still alive there, McGarnis. Got down on hands and knees. Turned into a tackle. Don't think he'll be paid against there. Nick Gray was right on his hammer and will have a ball up. EFL.org.au around the globe, as we always are every week of the EFL football season. Ball comes out wide. Doncaster, the kick goes up towards the wing position there. Underneath it there was Vanderhaar. Umpire said play on, paddling it out and over was a Ponton for Blackburn, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Rain has eased. It was only a sprinkle at half time. Chill factor's still alive.
Yeah.
As someone just walked over Brad Henderson's grave as the umpire throws it in now. Danaher at the fall ball, snaps around the body, bouncing football. Went every bit a good 35 metres. Over she goes and out.
Boundary throw in, broadcast side, 7-point lead. Just be thrown in right in front of the grandstand here at Waverley Toyota Oval, which is packed. It's overflowing at the moment, the grandstand. Mackenzie won the tap down. Malloy had a fumble. And then maybe was tripped. No free kick paid. Saville socketed off the ground. Did well then to get it to Finnan. Spilled out to Hammond. All on his own is Lawler. Takes possession now.
Nice.
Lawler. Beautiful pass. And he finds Conker on the chest. Good footy there again by Patrick Lawler.
Yeah, he could have done the selfish thing, Paddy Lawler, and run straight into goal and kick it himself, but no, centred the ball like he should and found Luke Conker.
He's looked dangerous every time he's gone near the footy today, Luke Conker. And he loves a goal, and you'd probably back him in to kick this. It is I guess a 45-degree angle, but he lines it up, makes it look easy, pops it straight over the goal umpire's head. It was almost like he was passing it to those Blackburn supporters behind the fence there. And Luke Conker kicks his his first goal of the day and goal number 21 of season 2018.
Once again, Blackburn have answered the challenge that Doncaster, a little mini challenge. Now the question is, once again, Doncaster are going to have to dig a little deeper again just to win the centre clearance.
So Coman in the ruck against Dove. Ball hits the deck, charging through. Danaher trying to release the football. Got stripped of an umpire. Non-officiating umpire Damien Sully is paid holding the ball on that one. So Jesse Finnan, the recipient of the free kick, short passes on. Spotted up his teammate there in Saville. Spears a pass inside forward 50. It was a good kick, but the spoil was there. Blackburn have the numbers across the half back line through Parker up towards the wing position. Ball hits the deck. The Sharks now at the fall. The ball through Conway this way, that way. Has to use the left, has to be neat with it. He was looking for Finnan. Dorian was right there for Blackburn, and he's happy to see the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. 9.5 minutes tick over third term. Premiership quarter styles out here at Waverley Toyota Oval today for the first semi-final in Division 1. The winner goes through to take on South Croydon next week to see who will take on the mighty Vermont in the grand final. The ball comes back into play and Arcus was there. He was quickly held by Nick Gray and we'll have another restart. Coleman goes up against Dove, who got a knock on it that time in the arms of Danaher. He's come a bit more to life, hasn't he, Benny Danaher? Kick goes in towards forward 50, got towards the Conquer direction, used his body really well, got the handball back to Hammond on his favourable side, Hammond. So that worked out okay. Now on the right boot, the mark was taken by Lawler. He kicks it to the hot spot. The pack forms. It was knocked down to ground level. First player to meet it out there might be Hanley. He somehow kept it in, but right there also was James Saville. Forces it to go over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Very lucky not to get a free kick there, Jake, and it was completely manhandled there. Don't know how the umpire missed that one.
Right forward pocket. High throws the ball back in. Coleman, he's got a good leap. Hammond, nice little flick over the shoulder. Snap on goalwood by Murphy to the top of the goal square over the top there of McGarnis. And it was curling a little bit too much anyway, so it does go through for that one behind. Every point counts in a game like today, there's no doubt about that. Third quarter out here, 11 minutes tick over. It's Blackburn on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, leading by 14 points, 50 plays 36.
See Cavallis to bring the ball back in. He's usually a very nice kick of the footy and a good decision maker. Kicks to himself, gains a few metres and then tumbles it forward. But luck's a fortune because it landed in the arms of Saville, who swings it out wide with the kick to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch coughed it up though at the crucial moment. Murphy's little handball was effective to Danaher. Indiscriminate kick by Ben Danaher. But again, it's landed in the arms of Vasari. And Ben Danaher, he'll claim it was a pass, but
goal assist even.
Lucky on that occasion. And Vasari's kicked one goal in this third quarter. This for his second.
There's 3 sharks all around that football as well, and it just fell into his arms.
There's a left footer, Vasari, from right on the arc, fires at the goals. It's going to land a metre short in the goal square there. Plenty of Doncaster defenders back there. Can Blackburn scrounge a goal out of this situation? Conway on hands and knees, shoveled it out. Lawler, was he held without it? The players dive in over the footy and it will be a ball up in the goal square.
Doncaster needs some resolute defending here because Blackburn are threatening to put this game out to a 3-4 goal lead.
14-point lead to Blackburn. Umpire throws it up in the goal square. Fisted out of the area. Chance there for Young, but he gave it away to Conway, to Anarchis, onto Sia Cavallis. Long kick to the middle of Central Reserve, but it's been well marked back there by Faulkner, and Faulkner's off and running for the Burners and hits Hudson on the chest.
So slammed it straight down his throat. As I clear mine, as it goes up towards the half-forward line. And just happy to slow things down a little bit here. Paddy Compton has the mark. Yeah, he's about 70 metres out from goal. It's a congested forward line. Those players forward of centre here as the kick goes forward. Out in front there, McGarnis, strong as an ox as always, takes the mark. Been called to play on now as he went off his line, so he gave it back to Coleman, who roosted on the right boot out towards the half back line there. The umpires paid a push the way of Doncaster, going the way of Josh Turner.
He's been quiet today, Turner. Hasn't had the same impact that he did last week.
Well, he wants to waste no time either. Kicks the ball over the top. Mark's taken by Alessi. Like to see a spark come out of Alessi in this next quarter and a half. He's one of those X-factor players as his kick goes up, and a big flight there by Dub, the big ruckman, goes back and takes it on the right boot. It was a neat looking kick in towards the middle of the ground. The umpire set play on, scooping up on it nicely. There was Faulkner, got it away to Gray. Has an unnecessary bounce, but nonetheless thumps the ball forward, looking for Hammond underneath it. He read the flight magnificently, takes it at the top of the goal square. And Jakey Hammond, who's already kicked one goal this afternoon, will go back from point blank range and slam this one home for the Redcoats.
You can tell when Blackburn are on, when Tyler Faulkner, like he did in that interleague game, when he starts running through the midfield and setting up that forward 50, they're starting to run on top of the ground here, Blackburn.
Well, Jake Hammond will come in He's taking his time. 15 minutes tick over. Hammond comes in, drop punt, go for it, goal. He made the umpire not really work for it, but geez, he tried to slam it. He tried to slam it into Silly Sunday down at the Glen Waverley Hawks boys, who are now hiding down in the background underneath the gazebo. There we can see it there, just in the background out there. We need to probably get the camera away from the shenanigans that might be happening around that area. But nonetheless, it's a great goal by Blackburn, and they are going to take some sort of beating, Brad.
Yeah, handy lead now. But Brash, you mentioned Tyler Faulkner. I just want to see him released to be able to do that more. When he gets the footy and he runs and carries it, it's a feature of his game. But like today, until now, we haven't sort of seen it to the last 5 minutes. But gee, he looks good when he does it. And I think Blackburn need him doing that, as Dorian out of the middle drives it forward. Almost a mark to Hartwig. Hammond bustled through.
Nice.
Got it away to Conker. And Luke Conker's kicked another one. That's his second of the quarter. And Blackburn, they are running away with this game at the moment. 26 points the lead now for the Burners.
In just the twinkling of the eye here, Blackburn have put 3 quick goals, and now the question's going to be asked of Doncaster. What have they got left? There's still a quarter and a half to go, but they're going to have to try and find a way now. They need 5 goals just to get back into the contest. Could it be a big ask? You know they'll keep coming, but is it too late?
I was just going to say, sorry, they've kicked 13 of the last 14 goals in the game. They've kicked 9 of the last 10 goals in the game, Blackburn.
McKenzie got the knockdown, little kick by Dorian, goes out, and now Blackburn trying to surge away forward. Anarchis at the full ball, got it away. Fogarty on the right boot, up towards the half-forward line, going back with the flight and taking a good mark there was Sochio. He wastes no time either. He's happy to play on here. Gets the handball away on the left boot. Here's Maxi Otten towards the wing position.
Kick.
That was a magnificent kick. They've got so much. They're doing so much better at the moment. The mark's been taken by Hudson, who slowed things down a little bit there. Happy to spear the pass. If you hit your targets, that's okay. Lawler looked like he was going to go off. Instead, elects to wind around towards the Hammond direction. Jeezy's been huge today. Comes out now. And the fall of the ball, getting on top of it there was Mahn. Just got the handball out in the nick of time, and Narcus was in there, tried to play for the free kick. Nice little kick around the body that time by Watkins towards the top of the goal square, where there's been holding on Conker. There was holding, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal from only 20 metres out. He's trying to be a little bit cheeky there by thinking he can play on at advantage. There was no chance that was ever happening, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal. Riley Fife giving away the free kick on that forward entry.
One of the things that Blackburn did in the last quarter last week against Roval is they ran over them and ran on top of the ground. It's come a quarter early, and what a quarter to bring it out.
Well, he's kicked 2 in this second half, 2 for this third term. Goes in and makes it 3 goals. Luke Conker. Blackburn, they're going to take some sort of beating now. They lead by 32 points out here at Waverley Toyota Oval, and then all of a sudden a lull goes across the crowd. Of course, the Red Jackets are up and about, but all of a sudden the game almost seems like it's too hard for Doncaster to come back.
Yeah. Nice mark by one of those youngsters in the Red Jackets behind the goals there from that kick from Conker. And he's got 3 goals now for the afternoon. Back in the middle once more. Driven forward there by Compton. No mark to Hammond. Players diving over the footy. What have Doncaster got with to reply with here? Ball on the deck. Handball over the top to Lawler. Kick. And it's another goal for Blackburn. Paddy Lawler kicks it. That's his first of the day. And the lead now is out to 38 points.
In the twinkling of the eye, Doncaster's season is just about disintegrated here. In 18 minutes of football, Blackburn have just put on the afterburners and they've taken complete control in the midfield. Watkins has gone into the ruck a little bit to add a little bit more mobility against Frankie McKenzie, and it seems to be working. That the whole Blackburn midfield is on top here.
Only his 5th goal for the season, Lawler, but was an absolute cracker. Puts himself in a very handy position here. Almost into time on in the third term. McKenzie's given away a free kick, and then for a little bit of mouthing off has given away a 25-metre penalty as well. That's not...
The frustration starting to show here.
It's unravelling a bit.
It is, isn't it?
It's also a pretty decent 25 also, which almost might bring Ben Danaher into range out here.
Yeah, I'll buy some real estate off Jason Herman there. That looked like more like 35.
Almost looked like he might have been trying to go for the handball off here, but Danaher, he comes in, he's kicked 12 goals for the year, he just pops it up towards the Hammond direction. It was knocked away nicely there by Conway, who was as good as a kick in the end, and now here's Mahon on the right boot out towards the wing position, going straight through the hands there of Hall. Dropped what he probably should have taken. Parker was there. He mopped up the pieces beautifully in a well-weighted kick up towards the half-forward line, where his teammate there in Hanley takes the mark. He's happy to slow things down. In fact, he'll even be happy to go backwards here. So Blackburn right near the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, squeeze a kick into the middle of the ground where Sochio takes the mark, and now the switch is on. The kick goes out wide. Here's Michael Dunn, who takes the mark and then takes off up towards the half-forward line. Hit the target perfectly. Vazari will wind around now on his left foot. Inside forward 50. He goes towards the 20-metre out position. The packed it. Fonseca Valls was in there. He just used the left hand to shove Conqueror away, but was still under pressure nonetheless. Whelan came charging through. He hit the deck, cop one high, and Doncaster to get out of that danger zone. Around the grounds at East Burwood, Dan Sensick.
Yeah, third term, Baronia, 8-9-57. Scoresby 1-4-10.
They've kicked their first goal of the game, the Magpies, but the all too little too late. Jimmy C. Cavallis just inside the defensive arc to bring the ball back in.
Up towards the wing, Mackenzie was the target, but getting an important hand in there was Otten over the line, so boundary throw in.
And Blackburn can play that sort of game now where they can afford to take the ball and kick the ball long to their two key forwards, in the knowledge that they're going to have the crummers there to pick it up and shoot for goal.
Time on in the third quarter, 38 points the margin as Fogarty got it to Finnan. Strong tackle applied, but it was without the ball in possession, so...
They've barely gone forward for the whole term, Doncaster.
No. Vazari got it to Compton. Compton's kick finds Lawler, and Lawler takes the mark, wants to play on, drives it forward again.
That'll go
Hanley
through.
at the back, bounces, and that has gone through for a goal from Lawler. So he's kicked his second in the space of about 5 minutes, and Blackburn stretch their lead now to 44 points as we cross down to Ray Baird on the boundary.
Yeah, as you said, Brad, second goal to Patrick Lawler, but for mine, he is the most dangerous player in the forward 50 for Blackburn. He has created so many opportunities for the other forwards.
I remember watching Paddy Lawler as a young under-16 guy playing off the half-back flank, capable of breaking the lines, running through the midfield, and he's running amok in this forward 50 this afternoon. Doncaster do not have an answer for him.
44 points is the margin. It's too much. Blackburn are going to go through. I'm going to call it again, and we'll see if there's another second early crow in 2 weeks in a row. But I tell you what, they're going to take some sort of stopping. The Sharks just can't work the ball forward at the moment. It's frustrating for their fans, no doubt the players and everyone involved down at J-Day Tully Drive. As the ball comes up, nicely done there by Dub, paddled to his advantage, has support in the middle of the ground.
That's too easy.
And now it is, and just too much time. Ball goes inside forward 50. Conquer at the fall of ball. He was out-muscled there in the contest, goes after it again. Good second effort, got the handball away out towards the Hammond direction. Conway's right there as well. Hammond did well. He might just keep this ball alive. His second effort, perfectly done. Snap by Hudson towards the top of the goal square. Hartwig was back there for the Sharks on the left boot. Now here's a chance for them. The mark's been taken out there by Ramboldi outside that defensive arc, asking for players to come forward, present themselves. Kalange was the intended target, but knocked away from him by Luke Parker, who's been solid as a rock today. And over she goes for a boundary throw-in.
BWS, you and I have spoken about this off-field, and we feel that Doncaster need a key forward. That's what they're lacking this afternoon. They just don't have one.
Well, they're lacking drive into the forward 50 in this third term as well, Brush.
Strong tackle there on Danaher, but he fed it out to Young. Young tumbles it forward, and Whelan safely pouches the mark. And we'll look to clear for Doncaster. Nervous sort of a kick from Whelan to Mahon, set him a hard task. Mahon probably still should have marked it up towards Schimmelbusch, who had his handball smothered by Young. Everything looks difficult at the moment for Doncaster.
It does, doesn't it?
So hard to believe, Brash, that 10 minutes into the second quarter, it was 4-1 with Doncaster leading.
Yeah.
So 11 of the last 12 goals have been kicked by Blackburn.
I'll be interested to see if Ray goes out to Andrew Tranquilli's three-quarter time address to see what he says.
I think Ray will be going out to Blackburn and Brendan Allen at three-quarter time, bro.
No, he did that at quarter time. I want him to go.
See if the challenge is accepted, but I think that won't be the case. A kick from the stoppage goes up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing football. Otten was right there, tried to trap it, sees it over and out.
Yeah,
I think part of the reason why Blackburn have really started to take control of this game, Max Otten had a really good first half and set it up.
44-point lead for Blackburn. Dove got to the front of the contest that time and got the double fister to it, back over the boundary line for another throw-in. And Frankie McKenzie battling away valiantly in the ruck.
I reckon young Dove's held his own, though.
He's done a great job today. McKenzie won that tap straight to Danaher, though, who's then tackled by McKenzie. And they need to find some inspiration, and you would think it would have to come from the usual usual suspects: Anarchis, Fogarty, Big Ruckman, McKenzie, players like that. Whelan goes to ground, got it out to Finnan, handball to Fogarty. Fogarty bounces the kick forward. Marn strongly tackled there by Patterson. Good play by Blackburn, though, as the chain of handballs finishes up in the hands of Gray. Nick Gray's long kick down the line. There's a whistle for some holding on. Dan Sensig with a around-the-ground score.
Yeah, Baronia 8-9-57, Scoresby 3-5-23. So they've pegged a couple back, the Magpies.
So Hammond on the left boot up towards the centre half forward area now, standing
Good
underneath.
mark.
That strong mark by Sochio. His two kicks from home. 60 metres out from the Burners goal line. Drives the ball in towards the forward pocket. He was out looking for the Ryan Bathy lead. He pushed it wide. Stayed inside the line though, so he will have a boundary throw in 20 metres out from the Blackburn goal line. Almost 27 minutes tick over now. Unbelievable third term, and that old cliche premiership quarter, the third term, they've stood up, haven't they? Blackburn in this one. McKenzie got the knockdown, laid the strong tackle also, and we will have another ball up. EFL.org.au around the globe this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Blackburn seem to be going through to the preliminary final next weekend against South Croydon. See who will take on Vermont, as I think McKenzie's got
A lot of blood.
a fair old bit of blood at the moment. So old mate Ray Bear-Tanky's got to come out for the second time, and I think a free kick's also been
yellow
paid.
card. Got the yellow card, McKenzie, as well.
Interesting. It's crossed down boundary side to Ray Baird.
Frankie McKenzie's got his left eye hanging out, mate. He has copped one right on the eye there. Looks really bad.
He's also copped a yellow card as well, Ray. So it will be... and then it'll take probably a bit more to fix that fence that he almost broke then as he walked off the ground. We heard in the background Tim Watkins will have a shot on goal. Comes in now on the right boot, sends it high and sends it left through for 1 minor score. So
What would he have got the yellow card for then, when clearly he was the one who came off second best in the down to Ray Baird?
He was mouthing off to the umpire, the non-officiating umpire, as he come past.
yeah, it's not the first time he's actually mouthed off today. He's been a frustrated man in the middle of the ground. Frankie McKenzie, ball comes back into play. Van der Haar, he's seen over the boundary line by Marcus Young. Over she goes for a boundary throw. Can't be too long left in this third term.
No, and it looks like, Blackburn will be very happy just to play time out and regather at three-quarter time for the final assault.
45-point lead to Blackburn. Dying stages of the third quarter.
Advantage.
29 minutes gone. The advantage is paid. They go forward now. The Sharks through Serkavalis. He tucks the ball under the arm, runs his full measure. In fact, he ran too far, the umpire says. And that must have been a real borderline call, because it didn't look like he ran too far then. Down to Ray Baird.
I thought it did before the umpire actually blew his whistle.
So the mark taken by Gray on the three-quarter time siren, and they are a frustrated bunch at the moment, the Sharks, and understandably so. They trail by 45 points at three-quarter time. Blackburn 12-9-81, Doncaster a 5-6-36. Luke Conkers kicked 3 goals for Blackburn, 2 each to Paddy Lawler, Ryan Bathy and Jake Hammond, while Fogarty and Coleman have 2 goals each for the Sharks.